Hello, how's it going guys? Keldor here and welcome back to TCG Card Shop Simulator. Today, we're going to be answering the age-old question. How much should you sell your items for? Now, we're not going to be answering that question in-game here necessarily. We're going to be hopping over to my note-taking app, Obsidian, where I have written up a very small document that we're going to be going over today, running some calculations and letting you know how you can determine how much you should sell an item for. From the top, shall we start? Here we go. How much should you sell an item for? Relevant numbers regarding a customer's likelihood to purchase an item relative to its market value. So these are going to be the numbers here that you use depending on the percentage increased or decreased from market value. So if you sell an item at market value, there's a 90% chance that a customer will purchase said item when they choose it randomly and look at said item on the shelf. If you have minus 10%, 95%, and if you have plus 10%, they only have a 75% chance of purchasing said item. These numbers were taken from the game files by LodZ. Shout out to LodZ and their guide on the Steam forums, which has made all of this possible for us today. Numbers you will need to determine in order to run the calculations yourself. You will need the average purchase price of the item and its market value. And we're going to hop back into the game here so I can show you guys how to easily find that. Let's just run up to the only item I have on my shelf at the moment. Please ignore this mess. Hopefully we're going to be doing a remodel soon. But yes, the average cost right here for this item for example, is $48.53. That's how much we buy each box for on average. And then the market price here, which is kind of an arbitrary value that goes up and down, $102.61. Okay, so now let's hop back over to Obsidian, where we're going to be using an example number once we get to that part to run the calculations. I like even numbers, okay? I don't want to be working with decimals at the moment. So before we get into it, there is one common misconception I have seen in my own comments as well as those in streamers' chats and other YouTube channels. For some reason, people think that if you sell an item for its market value, you are not making any profit. This is wrong. They are confusing market value with the price they have purchased the item for themselves. Average purchase price. Oh god, I thought I could have went through the whole video without stuttering. Here we go. Average purchase price is the only number that is relevant when determining whether or not profit has been made. Because there is the number you sell an item for and the amount you buy an item for. You subtract one from the other, and that's how you determine your profit. We're going to run the calculations for one example item, so you will be able to do this yourself in your own store, should you choose to min-max. Personally, I think min-maxing can be kind of cringe, but alas, I find myself doing it too sometimes. Alright, so for our example item, we're going to be using some rather simple numbers here. Our APP, average purchase price, is going to be 50. Also, my keyboard is sideways, so I do apologize for the amount of mistakes I'm about to make. And our market value, our MV, 150. So you're going to need to write both of these numbers down for whatever item you're trying to determine the price for. And we're going to run the calculation for just three percentages. We're going to run it for minus 10% under market value, at market value, and then 10% above market value. Now, a lot of people assume you should always add plus 10% to every single item. That may be true for some items. So we're going to show today why it is not true for all items. Spoiler alert. So minus 10%. So we are going to be selling this item for minus 10% of 150, which is going to be 135. You can run the numbers yourselves if you don't trust me. And we're going to be using an arbitrary number of customers. So you can use whatever number you want for this variable. It actually doesn't matter. The result will always be the same. We'll just do 10 customers to keep the math simple. So 135 and 95%. This is how often a customer is actually going to buy the item. So this is the only time we actually make money. So what is 95% of 10? 9.5. So we're going to have to run two separate calculations here. All right. So 135 multiplied by 9.5. So this is going to determine how much money we make from selling said item. So let me just pop my calculator open. 135 multiplied by 9.5. So that's going to be 1,000, not 1 point, 1,282.5. That's going to be the total sale value. And then we're also going to have to determine our the amount we've spent with our APP, so 9.5 multiplied by 50 in this example. So this is how much we're spending to purchase the item. 9.5 multiplied by 50 is going to be 475. And to determine how much profit you've made, you're just going to subtract the latter number from the former. So 1282.5 subtract 475. So the total profit we've made here, if I punched everything in correctly, is going to be $110.5 or CAD or whatever currency you're using in the game. It doesn't matter. All right, so we've got the first number down. Now let's run the calculation here for market value. So since we're not changing anything, it's going to be sold at 150 to 90% of customers. So 150 multiplied by 9, as that is 90% of 10 customers. And then we're also going to multiply the 9 by 50. That's not pretty, but it'll get it done. Boom, boom. So we'll start off with. I'll space these out. It's bothering me. Okay, 150 multiplied by 9. So here we're going to be making 1,350 in sales. And then we have to subtract 9 multiplied by 50, which is 450. Probably didn't need to use the calculator for that one, but alas, I just want to make sure I don't make any mistakes. That would be kind of embarrassing. So 1350 minus 450 is 900. So in this example, you are going to be making $900. Fantastic. And now for everybody's favorite percentage, the one that people swear by, plus 10%. So what is plus 10% of 150? That is 165. God, it is so dark in my room, and a sideways keyboard is not my best friend. And we are only selling to 75% of customers. So multiplied by 7.5 out of 10. This is why we're using an easy round number here. 7.5. And then 7.5 multiplied by multiplied by 50. There we go. Yeah, this is going to surprise some people because for some reason they think there's only one way to play the game. Unfortunately, life is never that simple. So 165 multiplied by 7.5 is going to be 1,237.5. Not 4, 5. And then 7.5 times 50, 375. So again, we're going to subtract the latter from the former, 1237.5 minus 375. And that is going to be 862.5. So as you can see in this example, you are going to make substantially more money from selling at market value. I know it doesn't seem substantial, but trust me, it is. We're only using 10 customers in this example. Late game, you could have hundreds of customers. Okay, maybe like 100 customers purchasing these items from your store. So it's very sad. Let's just throw a 0 on there so you can really see the difference. Bada bing, that's not a 0. There we go. So you're going to be making quite a bit more selling at market value there. As long as you keep your shelves stocked, of course. That's another variable to take into account. But alas, here we are. There are the numbers. We'll scroll through everything once more. And I will say, if we were to run the same calculation, I believe with a market value of 100, I think plus 10% makes you more money. I'm not going to double check it because this video's already been going on for 9 minutes, and I don't want to waste any more of your guys' time. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you guys have made it this far, please feel free to subscribe. We have more TCG Card Shop Simulator videos coming soon. Perhaps some other games. I don't know. Let me know what you want to see. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.